Hey there, Eric Croft here with Command Your Legacy. I'm starting a new series that I'm going to start talking about my journey to recovering from cancer and then hitting 90+% on my PT test within a year later. You know, I'm a soldier over 20 years, father of twins. I have, you know, finally, I do not have to worry about cancer anymore. I'm completely cured. But it was a process, and that process took a lot of things out of me. So the series is going to start out today with the unexpected. Then I'm going to go into the fall, my mental capacity, my mental toughness, the emotions, the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, and everything that went into that. Next video is going to get into the beginning cycle to improve, on how I improved on myself throughout the process. And then the next piece is going to be called the physical process. And then the test itself, the PT test. And then finally, I'm going to end it out the series, round it out with how my unknown preparation helped me win in the end. So give you a little backstory with the unexpected part. Back in 2012, my wife and I were attempting to conceive kids, have children, and we ended up not being able to conceive, so we had to get help, IVF, and so forth. And through that process, we found out that the issue was with me in the end. So I had to start seeing a neurologist, and through that process, I was getting. We found out that I had calcium deposits in one of my testicles. So that's the type of cancer that I ended up with, and I'll get to that point here shortly. Ended up with testicular cancer, but the process leading up to that was kind of crazy. You know, like I said, I've got over 20 years of experience in the military, and at the time, I was struggling with PT tests, struggling with tape. Didn't know if I was ever going to pass tape. Getting 60%, just trying to get to the minimum on PT test, and was really struggling. So between 2012, 2013, my wife and I went through IVF, and now, you know, thanks to that, we have beautiful 6-year-old twins. So this is quite a while ago. Through that process, in 2013, kids were born healthy, spent 17 days in the NICU. Obviously, those of you that have twins or have kids, maybe twins, maybe more, multiple children, you know that they can be taxing, especially the first year in life, right? Well, the first year in life, you know, it pretty much took a toll on me. I got up to 225 pounds. Basically, I was not passing tape for the military. My career was in jeopardy. I was hurting because of that. But I was so focused on my family and growing my family and getting my kids healthy and making sure that they made it past that first year with my wife, side by side with her. Together, we were, we got through that first year. And through that process, I gained up to 225 pounds. So, 225 pounds. Calcium deposits in my testicle. Go into 2015. By that time, I started, started going through the process of losing weight, losing over 50 pounds, hitting 90+ on my PT test because I saw a picture of me holding my kids, both of my twins, in July of 2013 after they were born. And I saw a guy that was just spiraling out of control. That was not the guy that I wanted to be, especially for the guy that needed to be, the father that I needed to be for those two twins that I was holding in my arms. So I started my journey in order to improve myself and to lose the weight, drop 50 pounds, and ensure that I was the healthiest that I could be throughout that process. So anyways, going up into 2015, taking care of the kids, dropping all that weight. May 2015, or back up, August 2014, my neurologist said, hey, you know what, we don't need to see anymore. After doing ultrasounds every 6 months on that testicle to pay attention to it and watch it to ensure that nothing metastasized or nothing grew, that he was releasing me because I was about to turn 40 in that next May. And he said at that time, 40, your chances of getting cancer drop significantly. So I was like, cool, great, love it. I'm looking forward to not having to worry about this anymore. And he sent me on my way. But he told me to continue to do self-exams. And men, guys, if you're not doing self-exams, I encourage you to do that. It can sneak up on you without you even knowing. And I promise you, you do not want to let it get out of control. If you catch it, then your chances of survival and being cured are in the 90 percentile. So it's really, really high. So going into May 2015, after being released from my doctor, right? Went to Vegas. My wife, my beautiful, wonderful wife, took me to Vegas for my birthday, and some really, really good friends of ours. We had a great time in Vegas. Enjoyed ourselves, the time of our lives. 40 was, I will never forget that birthday, turning 40. It was around the 10th or so of May, give or take, and we spent 3 or 4 days in Vegas, came back home, and around the 20th or so of May, I just wasn't feeling right. Was not feeling right at all. And so, you know, my growing area just ached. I couldn't do anything. My workouts hurt, and I didn't know if that just the ache and pain and that I was experiencing was part of that workout process. That's just you know, the recovery and just the continual strain on my body, just making myself hurt. But I figured out that it wasn't that. I remembered that my doctor told me to continue to do self-examinations, so that's what I did. I found a lump on that testicle we had been watching. Granted, he had told me in August that my chances of turning 40 go way down of getting cancer, right? Well, I was the exception. This is where the unexpected came in. I'd done all this stuff leading up to this point, dropping all this weight, getting the best shape of my life, you know, not having to be taped anymore, you know, through the weight, tape and weigh process of the military, and I was hitting 90 plus on my PT test, blowing BWC, best warrior competition competitors out of the water with it. You know, I was really on a high. And then I get hit in May, right after I turned 40. So because I was diligent in the self-examination process, doing that you know, on a continual basis, I called up my neurologist like on the 23rd, 24th of the month of May, got me in 25th, 26th, and started talking. He was like, okay, he did his examination, had me go do ultrasound. I went and did an ultrasound, we finished up the ultrasound, went and ate lunch with my wife and one of her best friends, and within 30 minutes of getting into lunch, I get a phone call back from the doctor. Hey, Eric, need you to come back to the office, we got to talk. Okay. We start freaking out, right? So finish up lunch as quick as we can, we run back to the doctor's office, and we sit there and listen to my doctor tell me that I potentially could have cancer because we found the lump on your testicle. Ultrasound showed it, he showed the ultrasound, it was there. Devastated, completely devastated, was not expecting this at all. So it took me down. It hit us like a ton of bricks. I mean, nobody ever wants to hear those words, you have cancer or you potentially could have cancer. It just goes to show you that even though I was leading up to this with all the healthy stuff, eating right, working out, kicking tail, cancer does not care who you are, what you do, or where you came from. It still comes after you. You can do all the things in the world. You can do things to help reduce the risk, by all means. And I was doing all that stuff, and I still got it. I still I didn't contract. I still was diagnosed with cancer, right? So anyways, it was like the 25th or 26th of May. He said, tomorrow morning at 07 o'clock, you're going to surgery and you're going to have an orchiectomy, which is the removal of that testicle. Then they're going to diagnose, or you know, go and study it, put it in the lab, see what actually happened. So I was, within a matter of hours, I was having surgery, testicle removed, 6-week recovery, shut down, could not work out, could not do anything for 6 weeks. So within that time frame, I had to see, we found out within a couple of weeks that it definitely was cancer. And I was shocked. I was devastated. So with that, I had a process that I had to go to. With that unexpected process of, you're diagnosed with cancer, you have to go start seeing a cancer doctor, and then you start the process of recovery. Well, I had that surgery, and then in July, 6, 8, 9 weeks later, I had another surgery called an RPLND, retroperineal lymph node dissection. Big words, right? I know I got it. Basically, they cut me open from the bottom of my sternum down past my waistline. So from there, they pretty much, for lack of better words, gutted me. And 6-hour surgery, 6 hours later, they removed 26 lymph nodes in my back. it took me down. That even took me down even harder. I had a choice of doing chemo after having the orchiectomy, or I could do the surgery. And the surgery would reduce the risk completely. It would pretty much cure me, basically. So I was out with the risk of doing just chemo and possibly having to come back doing after chemo and doing RPL&D later. I was like, look, let's just do the RPL&D. Let's just get this over with, knock it out. I don't want to take any chances because I want to be here for my kids, right? I want to continue my career in the military. So that was my unexpected going into this journey. And it hit me hard. So with that, you know, there's things in life that hit you, but it's how you approach them and how you take them on helps you get through them, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about in series 2, or video 2 of this series. Thank you for listening in today. I hope you share this with somebody, get some inspiration, show somebody that, hey, adversity can be overcome, and you are as good as you can be, and make yourself out to be. I hope you have a great day. Go bless somebody. Talk to you soon. Take care.